Shape and structure of Earth. What is the shape of Earth? Earth is an oblate spheroid, slightly flattened at the poles and bulging at the equator. Why is the Earth not a perfect sphere? Due to rotation, centrifugal force makes it bulge at the equator. What is meant by oblate spheroid? A sphere that is slightly flattened at the poles and wider at the equator. Who first proposed that the Earth is spherical? The ancient Greek philosopher Pythagoras. What is focus or hypocenter? The point where the rupture of the Earth starts. What is the equatorial diameter of the Earth? About 12,756 kilometers or 7,926 miles. What is the polar diameter of the Earth? About 12,714 kilometers or 7,900 miles. What is the difference between the equatorial and polar diameters? Approximately 42 kilometers or 26 miles. What is Earth's circumference at the equator? About 40,075 kilometers or 24,901 miles. What is the Earth's polar circumference? About 40,008 kilometers or 24,860 miles. What proves the Earth's spherical shape? Historically, lunar eclipse, modern development of satellite images and space exploration. What is the position of Earth on lunar eclipse? The Earth is between Sun and the Moon. Why do ships disappear hull first over the horizon? Because the Earth's surface is curved. How does rotation affect Earth's shape? It causes centrifugal force that bulges the equator. What is centrifugal force? The outward force due to Earth's rotation. What is gravity's role in Earth's shape? It pulls matter toward the center, maintaining the roughly spherical form. What is geoid? The true physical shape of the Earth, which is irregular but close to an oblate spheroid. Why is Earth called a geoid? Because it is not a perfect sphere but has an irregular surface due to gravitational variations. What is meant by the term Earth structure? The internal composition and layers of the Earth is crust, mantle, core. What are the four main layers of the Earth? Crust, mantle, outer core and inner core. What is the outmost layer of the Earth? The crust. What is the thickness of the Earth's crust? It ranges from 5 km oceanic to 70 km continental. What is the main composition of the Earth's crust? Mainly rocks, silicates and minerals. What are the two types of crust? Continental crust and oceanic crust. What is continental crust composed of? Igneous, metamorphic and sedimentary rocks. What is oceanic crust composed of? Mainly basalt rocks. What is the mantle? The layer beneath the crust extending to about 2900 km or 1802 miles deep. What materials are found in the mantle? Silicate minerals rich in iron and magnesium. What is the temperature range of the mantle? Between 1000 degrees centigrade and 3500 degrees centigrade. What is the upper mantle? The top part of the mantle that includes the asthenosphere. What is the asthenosphere? A semi-molten layer on which tectonic plates float. What is the lower mantle? The solid, dense part between the upper mantle and the liquid outer core. Where is the core of the Earth? Core of the Earth is below the mantle. What are the two parts of the core? Outer core and inner core. What is the outer core made of? Liquid iron and nickel. What is the inner core made of? Solid iron and nickel. Temperature of the Earth's core. Outer core 4500 to 6000, inner core 6000 degrees Celsius. What causes the Earth's magnetic field? The movement of molten iron and nickel in the outer core. What is the density of the Earth's crust? Between 2.6 and 3 grams per cubic centimeter. What is the density of the core? About 13 grams per cubic centimeter. What is the lithosphere? The rigid outer layer of the Earth made of crust and upper mantle. What is the thickness of the lithosphere? Around 100 kilometers. What lies below the lithosphere? The asthenosphere. What is moho? The boundary between the crust and the upper mantle. Who discovered the moho? Andrija Mohorovičić, a Croatian seismologist. What is the Gutenberg discontinuity? The boundary between the lower mantle and the outer core. What is the Lyman discontinuity? It is a seismic discontinuity in the upper mantle. How do scientists study the Earth's interior? Using seismic waves generated by earthquakes. What are seismic waves? Vibrations that travel through Earth's interior during an earthquake. What are the two main types of seismic waves? Body waves and surface waves. What are body waves? Seismic waves that travel through the interior of the Earth. What are the two types of body waves? P waves, primary waves, and S waves, secondary waves. What are PBS? Primary waves that travel fastest and move through solids, liquids, and gases as compressions and rarefactions. What are S waves? Secondary waves travel through Earth's interior perpendicular to the direction the wave is moving. They travel slower, shaking the ground, and pass only through solids. They do not pass through outer core. How do seismic waves help determine Earth's structure? Their speed and path change depending on the material they travel through. What happens to S waves in the outer core? They disappear, proving it is not solid. What happens to P waves in the outer core? They slow down and refract. What is the average density of Earth? About 5.51 grams per cubic centimeter. What is isostasy? The gravitational equilibrium between the Earth's crust and upper mantle with the crust floating on mantle. What does isostasy explain? Why continents and oceans maintain balance despite density differences? What is the Earth's radius? Approximately 6,371 kilometers. What is the Earth's surface area? About 510 million square kilometers. What percentage of Earth's surface is water? About 71%. What percentage of Earth's surface is land? About 29%. What is the biosphere? The layer of Earth that has all life. It is the zone of life on Earth. What is the hydrosphere? The total amount of water on Earth. What is the atmosphere? The layer of gases surrounding Earth. How many layers does the atmosphere have? 5 main layers. What are the layers of the atmosphere? Troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere, exosphere. What is the troposphere? The lowest atmospheric layer where we live and weather occurs. What is the stratosphere? The layer above troposphere containing the ozone layer that absorbs ultraviolet radiation. Commercial flights fly here. What is the mesosphere? The layer where most meteors burn up. It is the coldest layer. What is the thermosphere? The layer above mesosphere having very high temperatures due to the solar radiation. The auroras occur here. The International Space Station is here. What is the exosphere? The outermost layer merging with outer space. It is the thinnest layer. What are the Earth's major internal processes? Volcanism, earthquakes, and plate tectonics. What causes volcanoes? The movement of molten magma through Earth's crust. What causes earthquakes? The sudden release of energy due to movement of tectonic plates. What is plate tectonics theory? The idea that the Earth's lithosphere is divided into moving plates. Who proposed the theory of continental drift? Alfred Wegener, the German meteorologist and geophysicist, proposed it in 1912. What evidence supports continental drift? Fossils, rock formations, and fit of continental coastlines. What is a mid-ocean ridge? A chain of underwater mountains where new crust is formed. What is subduction? The process where one tectonic plate moves under another. What are tectonic plates? Large slabs of Earth's lithosphere that move over the mantle. How many major tectonic plates exist? About 7 major plates. What are minor plates? Smaller plates located between major ones. What drives plate movements? Convection currents in the mantle. What is convection current? The circulation of material in the mantle due to heat differences. What is Earth's core mainly composed of? Iron, Fe and nickel, Ni. What generates heat in Earth's interior? Radioactive decay and residual heat from Earth's formation. What is the significance of Earth's magnetic field? It protects the planet from harmful solar radiation. How is the magnetic field measured? Using magnetometers. What is magnetic reversal? When Earth's magnetic poles switch places. How often do magnetic reversals occur? Roughly every few 100,000 years with no set schedule. What is the solid portion of the Earth called? The lithosphere. What is the molten layer under the crust? The asthenosphere. What is the relationship between crust and mantle? The crust floats on the semi-fluid mantle due to density differences. What is the study of Earth's shape and size called? Geodesy. What is the Earth's true shape according to geodesy? A geoid. What boosts the Earth's internal heat? Volcanic eruptions and geothermal energy. Why is understanding of Earth's structure important? It helps in resource exploration, disaster management and environmental protection. Please like, share, subscribe and click on bell icon.